The Senate approved the anti-terror bill C-51. All that's left now is royal ascension from the Governor General, so you might as well say it's a done deal now. So here we are, Canada. As if you didn't already realize that you're living under pretty much an authoritarian police state with a completely invasive spy apparatus that the Stasis would have been just completely envious to have access to. Of course, there's no way they would have had that ability back in the 1940s without modern technology. But in 2015, modern governments now have the ability to monitor basically anything you do, especially if it has anything to do with using electronics or modern communication. But, well, this is what happens. For you fools that gave Harper and his conservatives a majority government, which would predominantly be, especially considering they're conservative, is the older generations in Canada. So the baby boomers and their parents predominantly, and probably some fucking idiots from my own generation, Generation X. But yeah, so the older Canadians, thanks the fucking lot for legitimizing full-on fascism here in Canada. You fucks have no clue what the future ramifications, because even if you think the conservatives that are in power won't use this bill to fuck with people, although I know just look at their history. We already know they will, right? People are being fucking charged now for crimes just on what they say on social media. So, I mean, you know how far this is going to take things. Yeah, and what the fuck? I mean, think about it. It was just a few days ago we were celebrating 800 years, 8 centuries, 800 years after the introduction of Magna Carta, right? 800 fucking years later, we're gone back. They were further advanced, even in some aspects, 800 years ago than we are now in Canada today, as far as having rights. Acknowledged rights, I should say. Because my rights still exist. Bill C-51 may exist, but for people like myself, my rights exist because I don't abide by or yield to central powers and collectivism and force and coercion. I live my life morally, justly, and lawfully as far as the natural laws that apply to everybody, that don't come as a result of legislative acts or fucking edicts from central planners or control freaks. But yeah, Canada, you might as well recognize now. You're officially, and like people that want to deny, is like, oh, well, I don't see the Stasi around. Listen, like I said, the stories you heard about how fascism worked in the 1940s, okay, let me explain this for you fucking idiots that have like a brain that seemingly is so small, because I see your comments all the time on the social media, so I know you're out there. But your brain, ants can make you fucking look like a fucking moron. But anyways, the reason why the Stasi had to go into people's homes, search through their personal belongings, their diaries, their journals or whatever, is because there wasn't modern technology, whereas the new Stasis of today, the CSIS or NSA, all these fucksticks or GCHQ, well, they don't have to do that because they know people put their information through in electronic form. So they can sneak, instead of them having to bust your fucking door down, come in, rummage through your fucking sock and underwear drawer or go through your safe or all that. Well, they can find all your financial information, your personal information, all that stuff, your emails. Well, they can find all that stuff without having to enter your home because they do it electronically through wires, through the airwaves. But you idiots, because you can't see that, you seemingly don't even understand that it's fucking far worse. Because at least if someone was coming in here, I would know they're coming in here. But because, yeah, Canada. Oh, man. My fellow fucking Canadians. What the fuck is wrong with all you fucking idiots? How can you allow this to happen and just go about your regular fucking day? What, you don't want to rock the boat? What, your life's too comfy for you? You don't care about your future generations at all? You don't even care about your fucking self in the future? No, I've never been so. I mean, there was lots of people that showed up and supported and protested, but as we all know, if it's only a small, I mean, we're still look around. We're still such a small minority that a goose egg, a big fucking fat zero, is how much fucking accomplishments we're really gaining. Really, I mean, we're getting some media attention every once in a while here or there. You know, they might throw us, but how's it working out? It's just appeasement, man. You can't fucking beg for your freedoms. How far has it got to get? How bad do things got to get until people realize you can't just beg for your freedoms? You can't sign petition. You can't protest. You know, I mean, how many different groups were involved in trying to fight Bill C-51? You know, you had people in the business community, the BCCLA, the Civil Liberties Association, you know, leadnow.ca, open media. I mean, there was, you know, First Nations group, libertarians such as I mean, there are all kinds of people but did it work? Look, this should fucking read here. This should be proof positive that the political process is just begging your master to be more lenient to you. Please give me less whips, give me less lashes. That's what the political process at this point. You know, if you want to delve into that shit and petition and beg your masters for leniency to treat you decently, how's it working out, Canada? You see, liberals, conservatives, both of them. It's like, and you fucking lefties now. I see how this is working. It's like, oh, they're going to try to force everyone into the NDP to turn into full-on socialism. It won't work for people like myself, but yeah. Some Canadians will fall for this shit and maybe put these socialists in power. And then you'll have they're very nationalists in Canada, right? The NDP. I mean, they're proud Canadians. So they're quite nationalist in their approach. And they're socialists. National socialists. Where have I heard that before? That's going to come to power. I'm so glad that I've been far ahead of the game and been preparing accordingly, because wait for you unsuspecting fucks. Wait till all this plays out. But you know, by then it'll be too late. And of course I'll be in the perfect position to say, hey, I warned you fucks years ago. It's not going to help me out though, because I don't want to have to say, oh look, all this destructive capacity and what's happening today could have prevented if, but you know, that won't do nothing, right? Just like the people that were loaded up onto boxcars, and I have recognized, yeah, of course that's not going to happen per se. They've advanced to the point now with modern technology. It's not going to happen like it did back under Hitler or fucking Mussolini or Stalin or Mao or any of these fucking idiots. No, it's going to happen totally differently. And they're much smarter in how they'll do it. They'll pick them off selectively. Yeah, they're not going to round them up and put them in boxcars where, you know, people would be able to recognize that. But you watch, Canada. You watch how this plays out. You know how vicious some of these old fucks are now today. They're willing to do anything because they're at their later stage in life. So these people are willing, and their servients, the younger people, the enforcers that take their careers, their positions in the military, the police, or the crown attorneys, or the judges, they'll fall in line to keep their paychecks going along. Watch how this plays out, Canada. You fucked up real bad. You fucked up real fucking bad. Most of you are too busy, watching the fucking Leafs lose for another, I don't know. I've given up on fucking almost as long as I've been alive. Probably longer I've been alive, but yeah. Bread and circuses, Canada. You haven't learned a fucking thing from all of history because you don't even fucking understand how to read. If you knew your history, you would actually learn, and you wouldn't allow this to happen. But because you're living your life for the moment, in the here and now, as much as we all like to do it, what I've learned over the years is you better at least spend a little bit of fucking time paying attention to what's happening outside of your own little, what you're privy to in your own little inner circle. Otherwise, you'll find out, well, just like what's always happened all around the world through all of fucking history, as the control freaks and sociopaths are going to fuck everything up and cause a whole lot of pain, destruction, and devastation. Yeah, it's a sad day for Canada. It's a sad day for freedom. It's a very sad day for liberty. What the future holds from here on out, it's up in the air. It's anyone's guess. I don't know. I'm usually pretty optimistic, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of effort being put into try to sustain our liberties and freedoms by most Canadians. I'm seeing most of them are just willing to go along to get along, as it's always happened, which is going to bring about a fast pace to the destruction of this country. Watch it play out. I will be. I'll be fighting it along the way. Don't get me fucking wrong. And I've already got contingency plans already laid out. Yeah, I've got a plan B, C, D, and even an E if need be. So I'm well prepared and planning for whatever the fuck, how this all shakes out. But most Canadians, if you see this video, you really shouldn't make it a point to start explaining this stuff to the people that don't feel like a fucking idiot for doing either. Because, I mean, how much more evidence do you need? Start explaining them just how fucking devastating this is going to pan out for them. Especially over generations when they're going to be in their most vulnerable time of their life. Oh, man. Guys, things are not going to go good. Not good at all. It's Canadian Libertarian. And I love liberty.